One. Appreciate you hitting the button. Welcome to the How to Hustle podcast with Hank. You follow me on Instagram and Twitter. That's HYMPE. It's Hank. It's not hype. I'm not geeked up. Episode 29. This is part 2 of Why Does Marriage Work? This is Why Doesn't Marriage Work? But you know we got to go through the rundown to start it off. Slow down though, Hank. Mondays, Atlanta, 2 p.m. X Squad affiliates. You find me on there. GFT Radio Network. Tuesdays, 2 o'clock. You find me there. Wednesdays, Dallas. The Kickback at 8 a.m. 8 a.m. and 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. You find me there. Thursdays, WTNUphilly.com. That's 12:30. Fridays, the I Say Podcast Radio Network. That is 10 a.m. More shit in the works, but until it's official, we won't make no announcements. All right, y'all. Full house today. Introduce yourself to the audience. Ladies first.
Hi, y'all. I'm Tenira.
The table is being modest.
Me?
I said ladies first now. Come on, Jackie.
Oh, hey guys. Hey, it's Jay Warren. I'm just Jackie. A lot of y'all already know me. I've been here before on the platform, and thank you for having me back. Accountant extraordinaire, Jackie O Management. And me and my girl got our show going back with Let's Keep It 100 with Mr. Cole Banks. So, how y'all doing?
Already. What's good, everybody? It's TJ. Second time on the show, man. Thank you, Hank, for inviting me back, brother.
My man.
Hey, last but not least, it's your man Haze Baby, co-host of the Out of Left Field podcast, youth mentor, youth player development, basketball coach. I wear many hats.
And one half of the tag team champions. You left us out.
One half of the tag team champions, my man Hank.
Copy
you
that.
know how we do, brother.
All right, now this one I had this on the table since I started the podcast because I knew this would be a good one. So we're gonna start this off with the table. Why doesn't marriage work, Jackie?
Oh, throw me up there. Listen, let me tell you something. In my opinion, marriage doesn't work for one because people's ideals of marriage. For me, just how I was raised and what I saw coming up and how I saw my parents interact and everything, I thought that's what I needed to do, the same thing. And when I did get into a marriage or two, the second one, I realized that wasn't it. Those ideals I had was messed up. So a lot of mine is coming from how I was reared and how I was brought up. And then I also believe we, men and women, we take on roles and responsibilities that we should not be taking on without having a conversation which needs to be brought to the table between those two parties, So, and overall, I'm just basically saying is communication failure. It's a communication breakdown, period. So.
Wait, Tenira.
I want to piggyback off of you on that. First, for having a conversation about what each person is expected. Because if we don't speak, I'm expecting one thing and now I'm upset because you're not doing something that I expected. Whole time we never even spoke about that. So you didn't even know that I was waiting on you to do X, Y, and Z. So that creates a communication barrier because, you can have problems after problems just over not communicating. Mm-hmm. Just not saying, because everybody's marriage is different. What works for, you and your spouse may not work for me and mine, but there needs to be an understanding between the two people that have to live in it. Not because, so-and-so, they go out every Friday night. We got to go out every Friday night like them. No, like, what do we want to do? What works for us?
Yeah, every situation is different.
Hazy
baby.
I think that's really big.
Man, you know what? Like, just to even tack on to what they said, I think a lot of times it doesn't work is because people don't know what they're signing up for. People can get caught up in just like the glitz of it. You know what I'm saying? Like there's a grind that goes, and with men sometimes we get mad married because we just think it's the right thing to do. Not because we want to, but like maybe it's because we didn't have kids with this person, or, you know, we've been with them for a long time and things like that. But I feel like you don't really get to really know that person until you get married. And if you didn't take the time, like I'm a big fan of dating now. Like, and I mean, if you got to date for 2 years, go ahead and do it. You know what I'm saying? But get to know that person. You know what I mean? And I feel like people don't take the time. They don't take long enough to actually get to know somebody. Like, you got to think of what you unpacking. Like, you can be unpacking 30 years of a person. Like, you only known them for 5, but it's another 25 years of that person you might not know about. And when you marry that person, all of a sudden it's this other person's coming out, or you realize that this person's kind of damaged or whatever. Like, I just don't think there's no real work that get puts in before the I do's, even before you get on one knee or however you have it. But there's a certain amount of work that needs to go in before the marriage. And I just think men and women lack that. Like, it's all, you know, it's a momentary thing where everybody get up and then when
You
you're
got a
back,
little
you know, this
say
is
that
not.
say that. Yeah, you got a little choppy. Say that again, bro.
I'm saying like when your back is against the wall is when you really find out, like, kind of like that. Is this for me, or did I pick the right person? Anything, you know what I mean? Like, you know, I think people just get caught up in the moment a lot of times when it comes to marriage.
T.
That's all I got. It's on TJ, I guess. Yeah.
I think I want to piggyback off of Jackie, because I feel like marriage does work. It just don't work like we thought it was supposed to. The idea get broken up. Like, oh, this is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes we think marriage don't work when the fairy tale ends, but truth be told, that's when the real marriage getting started. And so you fell in love with something else. You know what I'm saying?
TJ
like,
just
damn, we don't have
y'all.
sex every day.
Yeah.
I thought we were supposed to have sex every day. Oh, damn, like, you're not cute today. Oh, damn, I don't smell good. Oh, damn. You know what I'm saying? Then you got to throw in bills and babies and all this other stuff that gets in the way of y'all love. You know what I'm saying? And my second thing, I just kind of feel like marriage is advertised to the young. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's advertised to the wrong group, the 20-year-olds. You know what I'm saying? Late teenagers. You could probably throw in the early 30s or something like that. If I was to ever do it again, I wouldn't. If reincarnation is real, I ain't doing this shit in my 20s no more. It would be in my late 30s or something like that. But I think it's advertised to the young.
All right. It's funny you said that. I used to always say, well, maybe when I'm 40. Because you know, in your 20s, you got too much play in you. Don't get yourself in that situation if you still got play in you. My thought process would be complacency. Complacency is why it doesn't work. People seem to get so caught up into the wedding day. There's such a build up to just this one day, and your wedding day is 4 hours. Your wedding is usually from 3 to 7, or maybe you pushed it to 6 hours if y'all really was going, you know, a little further. But your wedding is only a snapshot. Like, you look up and it's like, damn, we cleaning up, packing up, and it's over. And you just had such a build up. You put so much emphasis on this one day that you didn't realize that the real work starts the next day. Once we're here, we with each other, and we got to figure it out. The problem also is people don't have those real conversations in the beginning. Before we even get to buying a ring, you need to have, this is the expectations that I have for me to have a wife. These are the expectations that I have for me to have a husband. And if these two things do not go together, if they don't equate, then y'all need to stop and leave this shit alone. Unless y'all gonna just say, yeah, we're gonna be friends with benefits or something like that. Like, y'all shouldn't continue to just go down the aisle just to say you went. Like, that's what I think the problem is. You got to still be like Haze said, he big on dating. You still have to be dating while you're married. You still have to be romantic. You still got to be attentive. You got to be every damn thing. You got to be a stenographer, a painter. Like, you got to be it all. And the minute that you slacking and he or she feels like, well, I need to go to TJ to get that because I can't get it from Hype, or I need to go to Jackie to get it because I can't get it from her. Like, once you get into that situation and you're looking for somebody else, now things are starting to splinter, things are getting haywire. Now we out of control. Go ahead. Who
Yeah,
wants to jump
I
back in?
want to piggyback on that because you have to realize it's literally just you two. So when it comes to household things, when it comes to kids, when it comes to family, whatever, if I'm not doing it, you're doing it. If you're not doing it, I'm doing it. So you have to really put yourself in the other person's position and say, how much do they have on their plate? What can I jump in to do as the spouse? You know what I mean? Because I think the what's expected of that person or what the other person's expecting them to do gets in the way of me helping you. It's like, damn, that's my wife. She's supposed to be doing this, 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 and this. Well, if I'm falling short, help me out. Like, you my partner, help me out. Don't just expect me to do those things because I'm
You
the wife.
also got to be paying attention though to those situations. Like
Exactly.
you have to be making those evaluations of that. If she's weak here and he's strong here, like y'all got to be looking at that for each other. That's one of those things I always do with my wife is like, what is her, like, try to put myself in her mind frame, is like, how is she seeing this? When I say this, how does she receive it from my own perspective? Obviously I'm not her, so I can't be 100% with that, but that's one of those little tricks I always try to do.
A lot of men don't do that though. A lot of men will not put themselves in their wife's position to try to see it from her perspective or her point of view. They just don't. I know for a fact because I've been there and done that twice. And the second one did not care. Didn't care whatsoever. And the thing was with me and that partner, I noticed the men said this, and neither one of us ladies said this. You don't really know the person after you get married and stuff. The thing is, a lot of people paint this picture of who they think we want them to be, of who we want, who they think we want to see. And I'm not just saying, ladies don't do it either, because I know both sexes do it. But the thing is, you are already so deep in this person or whatever, and then you are already married. Some people really flick that switch when they say I do. And I know men that's like, oh, she was this, and the next thing I know, she didn't want to work no more. She was expecting
Complacency,
me to do all
yeah.
this. It's like she really flipped on them. Like she turned her switch too. Like, hey, I ain't got to do all this. He's supposed to be taking care of me, blah, blah, blah. But we all can agree that these conversations weren't had before these people got married. I will say this, I never had the conversations with neither one of my ex-husbands. And I feel like if I did have that conversation, what our expectations were, what our ideals were, I know for a fact I wouldn't have married the first one. Because I would have said, oh, I'm not ready. I was not ready to get married the first time around. I did it because it was drilled in my head. If you're not married by the time you're 30, something wrong with you. That's the stigma they got us on women. If you're not married by the time you're 30, something wrong with that woman. Plus, I had 3 kids, never been married. And I'm like, who else gonna come along that's gonna love me and my 3 kids? And so basically I did it for thinking that it won't gonna be another opportunity.
That go back to what T was saying.
Mm-hmm.
That go back to what T was saying. Like it gets pushed on to you like that.
Yeah.
That's like you saying though too, Jack, is it's like, all right, I won. I don't have to do anything else to still attract you or to still desire you. Like you ain't going nowhere. Like, so I don't, like T said, I don't smell good today. You ain't take a shower, you don't look cute. You can't be like that every day. Shit, all right, it's Tuesday, things happen. You just got off work, but it's like, damn, it can't be Tuesday every day. Like,
it's like when people get married, they think it's supposed to stop. Actually, like I think T said it's supposed to start. You're supposed to keep it going. The same way you got me is the same way you're gonna keep me. And to spin the narrative, you got spouses that try to change their partner. Like they think they want this person, whatever. Next thing you know, because this is what happened to me. I cater to this person. So whatever he used to say and point out whatever, I would make adjustments and this and that and the third. Next thing I know, this man tell me, you are not the person I married. I said, I damn sure ain't. Because I did all the compromising. He didn't compromise nothing. I did it. You know what I'm saying? And then it's like, did I ask him to compromise anything? I probably tried in certain conversations, but at this point, when the person's used to something, he felt like he didn't have to do any compromise. And I was just supposed to do whatever he wanted to be, whatever he wanted to be. Now, bear in mind, I was the breadwinner. I was taking care of the kids, the family, cooking, cleaning. I was doing everything. And it's like, damn, I want to come home and have a meal cooked for me. But I was expected to keep doing what I had been doing when we was dating. So that's part of my fault. You know, I knew he didn't have steady work. He was his own boss. But at the same time, he didn't have that ambition and drive to build that business. I actually helped him build that business to where he has it till this day. So at the end of the day, you know, his schedule was flex. He worked when he wanted to work. And his money stayed in his pocket. You understand me? So I was the one paying the bills. I wasn't saying, hey, give me half of this or I'll pay that. I just took that role. Again, did not have these conversations. I took on the role that I've been doing before we got married because I knew he wasn't in like the same financial situation I was in, you know, so I felt like it was my responsibility and duty as a wife. Like I was already playing wifey before I was officially wifey. So it just spilled over.
That's a problem right there, though. You can't keep doing that.
Can't keep doing that. So how can I expect him to stop expecting these expectations I put on myself? But I mean, and at the end of the day, you know, even though I did these things, he still had to get something from somebody else. You following me? So, and I'm not going to say that's not why we married. I can't say the reason why we're not married is because he cheated. The reason why we're not married is because it did not work, period. And then I used to blame the fact that there was adultery, but I had to take my own responsibility in that demise. There was no communication, you know, I didn't know how to communicate to him. And, you know, and it was just like, from the jump street, you see the red flags, but we just,
when you see them signs, you got to pay attention to them.
I just kept driving past them, baby.
Yeah,
I kept doing
hit
detours.
Hit those brakes and stop, girl.
I kept doing detours, baby. You know.
Hold up, Jack. Now let T and Haze back in there. Go ahead, T.
I was just wondering, like, are we expecting too much out of the commitment of marriage, though? You know, like we all work jobs or whatever, or whether you're entrepreneur or anything. We know how we put on a suit, we put on a dress and look real fly for that interview. But you get 1 year into the job and you learn the job real good. So you kind of say, well, you know what? I'm gonna stop and get some donuts on the way to work. You know what I'm saying? Like I can get there five minutes late. I think it's a natural thing that humans do. It's not, I don't think it's a him problem, a her problem. I think it's natural for people to like get complacent. It's not good. It's not a good thing. I'm not saying it's a good thing, but I think it's very natural. And for me, I think I have a little grace for people in that area. You know, that's not to say that I want some low living ass woman or nothing like that, but it's just like, dang, I can understand why she didn't put on no perfume. I can understand why I didn't get my hair cut this week. You know what I'm saying? Because humans, we do get complacent. I think it's a natural thing. We do it with work. We do it with our kids. We do it with our spouses, everything. I think it's just a natural thing. So I'm wondering, like, how does that fit into marriage and what the idea that we have made it be, that it's supposed to be about love and commitment and sharing and everything. But like, does that actually match up to how humans work?
Yeah,
I got you. I got you. I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna let Haze in. I got you, T. I got you. Go ahead, Haze.
That's good. That's interesting because I feel like we probably always had our own way where it should have worked, but we always fell into the American or Europeanized way that they say is supposed to work.
Right.
And that just might not work for us. It doesn't work for us. You know what I'm saying? Like it doesn't. And me, myself, like with my wife, man, the problem we had was, you know, you kept expecting, she came from a married household, right? She came from a happily married household, watched her parents do it. I came from the opposite where my parents kind of just played house and that was it. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta know who you're dealing with. And our problem early on was she kept expecting me to be her dad. Right. You know what I'm saying? She kept expecting me to handle situations like her dad, do this like her dad, do that like her dad. And I started feeling kind of somewhat like a pushover. Like, damn, I can't have an opinion. I can't say no. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't rock like that. You know what I'm saying? Where I'm coming from, like my dad, he wasn't doing the right thing, but it was different. And it was interesting because it brought us to a happy medium, though. You know what I'm saying? Like we learned that. We did learn that. All right, I can't expect this from her. She ain't see it how she don't handle it like my mom handled it, and that's okay. She can't expect this from me. I don't handle it like her dad handled it, but that's okay. Right. You know what I'm saying? And that's where it comes from. Like, we're not them. We're not Caucasian white folks or whatever. And deep down, they shit don't be working either. They just don't talk about this. You know what I'm saying? Like, they settle out in court, pay that bread to each other, and all right, sweep it right under the rug. Anybody got to know. You know what I'm saying? Only way we be knowing is if you work with kids. I know because they kids is bad as shit with no discipline. Oh yeah, then you learn. Oh, parents are divorced, all kind of crazy shit going on. Like, so you know, it's all about knowing who you're dealing with, man. Like me personally, I like to know backstories. I need to get to the root of the problem. Like, oh, okay, mom a little fucked up. I understand that. You know what I'm saying? Like, dad ain't around, whatever. Like, you know what I'm saying? I get it now. I understand why she chooses how she chooses, or why he's how he chooses. Like, you just never know. Go ahead, Hank.
Those situations, those is kind of like what you're saying there is like, it's kind of like it's the beginning stages, because if that's what you saw as a child, that's what your ideal of a man or a woman is however my mom or my dad, you know, went about it. I mean, like you saying there though, we all got that. We all go and look at whoever it is, the significant other that we with, and say, well, my mom wouldn't have did it, or my dad wouldn't have did it like that, you know, in a vice versa situation. So that's kind of in the beginning stages that you're going to constantly do that, but you have to always still realize in your marriage, it's your marriage. It's not, I came up this way, you came up that way, and now we're going to butt heads about, we don't put the butter in the refrigerator, we leave it on the table. Like, y'all got to come up with your way. Hold up, dirt bike season. Take it now to what
boy, you ain't feeling, boy.
You already know. You know what I'm saying? Shouts out to damn. In fact, damn, I have international hype. Let them know where y'all coming from, those who are out of the city, before I jump into what T was saying.
Oh, you know, TJ, I'm from Dallas, baby. Triple E.
The table.
I'm from Virginia Beach, Virginia.
Copy that. All right. Take it to what T was saying about the people evolving. And this whole situation is, with those things are, you have to recognize, you have to be evaluating your situation all the time. Because that girl that you met at, like say you said early 20s, you met her at 22. She ain't the same girl at 32 now that had a baby, that has a career or a job, or she got her household things. Like, when you met her at the bar, she was trying to just hit these 2 for 2 Thursdays and Tuesdays like you was. We were just in play mode. You can't compare that girl to the woman. That girl and that woman are two totally different people. Same situation like Jackie is saying, when I met this guy, he shouldn't be the same guy now that we have these responsibilities of each other as a husband and a wife. Because as a husband and a wife now, we got to speak for each other. So it's like, if I'm not there, my wife can handle that, because we have a good enough rapport. We've had this dialogue, and we know how to handle these situations for each other. If y'all can't be in that situation though, but if y'all not evaluating, like, again, 22 and 42 or 52 or 62, you should be a different person at that stage. You shouldn't be the same nigga that you always was. You should still be the same girl. Because if you are and you got kids and shit and you never change, you're a bad mom. You're a bad dad. Like, my shit is totally different than it was before I had kids. Shit, I blew an income tax check in a weekend. Okay. Now I'm out here going, all right, look, the cheese is 2 for $5. So we're gonna load up on this cheese. Like, totally different situation, man. You gotta be operating completely differently as you grow. But again, this is, everybody doesn't grow and evolve. Some people just keep having birthdays. We don't all grow and evolve. And if you recognize, though, again, if you looking at, you give it, what is it, the 30,000 foot view? If you overlook your situation and you say, oh shit, he's still the same nigga that he was from 6 years ago, or she was, like, got roll. And like Haze said too, that was a good one too, Haze. Evaluate the parents. and the cousins and all of that. Like, make those assessments.
Hey,
You can't
that
do
shit
that.
tell
I don't.
you.
It tell you a lot, but you can't do that in a couple of months. Like, I don't think you can get the whole story in a couple of
You
months or just a
can.
year.
Yo, listen, man. Your ass better date. That honeymoon stage ends real fast. Like, all that winging y'all be doing when you just meet them and it's just fun and all that, then you reacting off those emotions. Like, we have so much fun together. Man, wait till you start going to them cookouts and all that old crazy shit. You start meeting the other people and you're like, oh man, this is why I see why she do that like that. Damn. Her mom,
damn,
her mom
like 12
literally
Heineken, oh, you good?
Yeah, her mom literally just did this. Her mom literally just did the same shit I be bitching about. That's crazy. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like okay.
Yo, Haze, you sitting there like, oh damn, so y'all got the butter in the refrigerator, huh? Okay.
Okay, all right.
I
Wonder
put
why she
raisins
kept
in
putting that
potato
shit
salad.
in
What
there.
the fuck is this?
All right. How the fuck I'm supposed to spread this cold ass butter? Like, all right.
That's what I'm saying. Now it makes sense now. I'm tearing all my bread. Go ahead, Tenira.
I get it.
I feel like for people who have been in long-term relationships, so back to what you were saying, you're not the same person when you was 20, that you are in your 30s. Cool.
You shouldn't
But
be.
also,
Some people are, but you shouldn't be.
you need to have that conversation too, because my expectations are now different in my 30s as well. You know what I mean? So I want to make sure that we're still on the same page. I believe in checking in. So let's do a mental check-in. Like, do you still want the same things? Are we still on the same page? Because we should have the same goals. Regardless of how you trying to get yours and how I'm trying to get mine, we should still be working towards the same thing.
Copy that. Yeah, we supposed to be a unit. Yeah, we supposed to be pushing towards the same shit. Yeah.
Thanks.
Mental check-in. I love that.
Yeah.
A mental check-in. I love that. That was hot.
Definitely didn't have no check-ins. Yeah. So I totally agree with
I'm
that.
with you on that because I felt heavy on that because now I'm like, well, damn, why you ain't know that? But I never said it. So how could you know? You know what I mean? Like, I just automatically changed to what we were doing because it's like, okay, we're getting married. As we're leading up to the marriage, back to Hank, what you were saying, the wedding is just a day. Like, what we do on our wedding day really doesn't matter. Whether we go down to Justice Feast or whether we spend $10,000, $15,000 on our wedding day, neither one of them matters. But after the fact, we gotta be on the same page. We gotta be on our own team. We gotta build our own empire. You know what I mean? We're not still, we shouldn't be arguing back and forth every day. We shouldn't be at each other. Like, if that's the case, we need to check back and say, hey, what's really going on? Because we're not arguing because the butter's left out.
Glad you brought that. I'm glad you brought that one up too. That's how we get these toxic situations, though, is these two people who probably grew apart. And sometimes it ain't even a bad thing. We just grew apart. We're not good for each other at 35 like we was at 25. And putting all of that in front of your kids, doing all of that extra shit in front of your kids creates damaged kids, which turn into broken glass as adults, because now they just out fucking up somebody else's situation because their perception of what the hell is supposed to be going on is chaos.
Can you
TJ, go ahead. That was something I got from the
go
It's Better This Way podcast. That's why I just threw that out, back when they did that kind of thing. Shout out to my man EJ.
Bang, shots fired.
Can you prevent from growing apart? Because the thing is, because some people do get married from high school, they're high school sweethearts, and of course you're gonna grow and elevate. But the thing is, instead of growing apart, you should be growing together. And it goes back to what Tenira was saying. You got to have those conversations. Like, if I want to go and be a nurse or whatever, I'm gonna talk to my spouse and say, I want to change careers. I want to go in this direction and talk about why, whatever. I will hope my spouse will come back and say, well, it seems like you thought about it hard, whatever. I'm here to support you, whatever you need. I got you. So
that go back to the communication, like she was saying, though. If we checking in and we're still building towards the same thing, then we'll realize that from 22 to 27 to 35 or 37, like we'll realize that we're still pushing towards the same things. But if you over here and doing yours and I'm over here doing mine, we don't even recognize that we just doing this further and further. Go ahead, T. You was trying to say something?
Just to add to that, because I like Tenira's idea as far as having those mental check-ins. That's a dope ass idea. I think what I would fear of it would the person be honest, or would I even be honest? Because sometimes
how about that?
Yeah, you get into these deep conversations where you're like, I know this gonna step on her toes a little bit. Let me not say that. Let me not put
this
it in that
hurt
phrase.
The feelings and
like
see that.
You know what? I think I just lie so I can go back to watching the game.
You know what pisses us off? You know,
Brooklyn and the Lakers is on. They ain't time for this shit tonight.
Right.
I need Tenira to back me up on this one. This is what pisses us off. It's the lie. It's the act of the lie. Tell me.
I'm with you on that.
It could be the worst thing in the world. It could be devastating or whatever. Let me take it in and absorb it. You know, we're gonna have these conversations. But if I hear from somebody down the street, if I hear it, see it, because whatever I say, trust me, I done lived it. If I see it on Facebook, you know, why you ain't say nothing to me? Why I gotta open up an app and that's the first thing I see on the app? So don't think that we sitting around here smelling roses and don't understand the reality of life and what it takes to have a marriage, or just dating somebody, period. Stop the lies. You men will get further with us if you just upfront. Listen, let me sit at the bar. Come to me. Hey, tell me about your life. Be real with your life. Don't paint this picture you think I want to hear, because you get further with the truth than you do with the lie.
Avoid the problem. Like they're trying to avoid the issue by telling you a lie, thinking like, okay, I'm gonna lie, so that way that don't make you mad, or we don't have to go there. But the whole time, if we really went there, we would be on a deeper level from jump.
You know what I
think? Go ahead, y'all. Hold up. Go ahead, T. You go first. Hayes, you go after T.
I thought Hayes had the buzzer first, man. But
no, you got
it. Don't lose your thought. I want to hear it, man. But
go ahead.
I think sometimes our lives get rewarded, though. You know what I'm saying? Like you reward. Like if I say you don't look fat in that dress, you know what I'm saying? You're like, oh, thank you. No. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not even trying to turn it into a men's versus women thing, because I think all people like. What? Our lives do get rewarded. Like, oh, okay, she didn't go outside my kid.
No. See, but I'm gonna go deeper with that, because I'm not gonna sit here and group all women the same. But we can't sit here and act as if y'all make it so easy to just come out and tell the truth. Saying like you know who you're dealing with after a certain amount of years, and if I know, like,
sensitive butterfly,
if I go and keep it real, I don't know when to get out. Yeah, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I don't feel like the crying shit tonight. Maybe I don't feel like it. Maybe I don't feel like it being up once I say this. Like, damn, like, man, you know what? And I can only speak from my point of view. Like, I ain't speaking on nobody else's behalf. You know what I'm saying? The person I'm with, I've been with it for 18 years. You know what I'm saying? And it took 15 of them to get it to where we can be honest. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, I've been in this shit
and
for the long.
And I don't want to justify,
you know what I'm saying? Like,
by the way,
yeah, and absolutely not. But our shit has been in stages like that. Like 18 years, it's been stages. You know what I'm saying? Like, and we kind of still at that stage. And a lot of times I gotta check myself, because Jackie, she will do what you saying. She'll go, I have to hear it from my homies' wives or something like that. And then I'm like, yo, you know what I'm saying? And then
put me in a fucked up position because I'm walking in blind.
Right. And then my homies would be like, well, maybe she do that, bro, because she said you be lashing out. So, all right, you know what? Let me check myself. Sometimes I do, because we've been together so long and I grew like a short fuse. So sometimes when she do say something, I am on tilt already. Like, oh, wow. So, all right, let me check myself. You know what? That's I ain't act like that ain't correct, because it is. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, you ain't always the most inviting person. Sometimes can't have a real conversation. Like, I want the real dialogue back. And if I don't feel like I'm gonna get that back, then I'm good, man. We can just go ahead and not talk for a day or two and act like ain't shit happened. Because if I spill everything out I want to spill out, and then you just, well, okay.
You automatically assuming.
I got you, Haze. I'm going there, Haze. Go ahead, ladies. Y'all both jump in real quick.
Go left.
I want to jump in so bad.
You talking like the conversation is gonna go left. If I come to you and say, "Hey, baby, you know how you doing today? Let's have a talk."
Yes.
You guys are. Your hair's already standing up on the back of your neck. Y'all like this. Let me get this line ready. Let me get this. I'm just asking you how you doing. Like Tenira said, let's have these check-ins. Let's have these dialogues. If I ask you a question and something serious, or it could the honest truth could hurt my feelings. Man, we in this together. Be honest with me. And half the time, if your old lady's coming to you asking you this, she already know. She just want to see if you gonna be the man that she thinks you are, and tell the truth. Tell her the truth, and y'all can go forward and work it out. Hopefully, you know what I'm saying. But if you lie, now she can't trust you. If you're gonna lie about something, some little peon stuff, what else you lying about, bro?
Go ahead, jump in there, Tenira. We getting up against the clock.
Okay, so all right, so two things. Piggybacking off of what Jackie's saying, it's like, for one, I'm coming to you with, I know something. I may not know the full truth. I may not know what exactly happened, but I know something enough to bring it to your attention. Because I'm not going to come to you bring it to your attention with some BS. Like, I want you to tell me the truth off the bat. But then also, I believe in creating a safe space. Like, what we talk about right here stays right here. Because at the end of the day, we're together.
Copy.
You know what I mean? I'm not talking to you because I'm going to leave. Or I'm not talking to you because I'm talking to you because I want this to work. So if I want it to work, tell me the real deal. Don't hide it. Because that's the reason I came to you.
All right, let me close this one out with this. Along the lines of what we're talking about. When you're married, you got to realize that you can't always say what you want to say. Sometimes this truth might end this whole relationship. Because like we talking about, these two people where we having this mental check-in, and I might be mentally to the point where I'm feeling like I don't want to do this no more. Like, I feel like this might have been the biggest mistake I ever made. Us having these kids ruined our relationship. And your husband sits there and tells you that after 15 years, how you gonna react?
Hey,
like sometimes those like Haze said, if I'm like T might have said this, if I'm dishonest, this shit might even gonna get the truth back from you. Or like Haze said, you give it all. That could be the man or the woman. The woman is putting it all on the line, and he sits there with a dumb look on his face and just go, "Oh, all right." Or she does that. Then that makes you feel like, what the hell did I even do it for? But like I said, though, sometimes you be in them situations. I'm not saying just because, I feel as though this might have took our whole relationship. Now and I got 3 girlfriends on the side and no shit like that. But sometimes them conversations will damage your whole situation. It's going to damage your kids. It's going to damage your spouse. So sometimes men will just internalize it and just say, you know what? I'm going to just hold on to it.
I need you to look at it like this. It's already damaged. It's already damaged.
Whoa. We are in a one-at-a-time situation here. How to Hustle podcast with Hank. Don't make me mute the room now. Now we need to wrap it up. This is the podcast drive-through. You know what I'm saying? The line is getting long. This is the Rona situation. The inside's closed. So now we're going to go around and get everybody's final thoughts before we start to dive into what you personally have going on. Tenira. In fact, Jackie had her hand up. She's shaking in the chair. Come on, table. You know what I'm saying? She is shaking the table. Come on, Jackie. Give us your final thoughts.
I want to piggyback off of you real quick for my final thought. You said a whole mouthful. And you said you're scared if you say what you really want to say, it's going to like mess up the marriage, blow it up, damage it, whatever. Technically, it's already damaged. Those thoughts you have, and something's already cracked and broken in that foundation you built with your wife. So my thing is, go to therapy. Have that talk. If you say stuff like that, these kids ruin the marriage, whatever. Listen. Go outside the source and go to therapy and try to get some healing from there. But trust and believe it's already damaged. You not saying it is making it worse. Not saying these thoughts to your spouse is going to make it worse. Listen, I tried to give my ex an out. I already knew. I said, hey, if there's something going on, you want to be somewhere else, let me know. You know, we can bow out of this thing gracefully. He blatantly lied in my face. That's what hurt. Like, I already had all the proof in the pudding, black and white, literally black and white. And he still wanted to just lie in my face. I knew it was done at that point. There was nothing to work on if I pretty much already told you I know what you did last summer, and you still don't want to own up to it. So my last thought is, have those talks. It's everybody agrees, communication. Wherever it leads, if you're scared to say what you want to say, but y'all need to have these truthful communication between each other. That's gonna help save the marriage. Let you know if that person wants to work on the marriage or not. See if it's worth saving. That's
give me your final thoughts, T.
I've actually shared this with maybe 2 other people before, and they said, man, thank you for that advice. I said, don't be afraid to lose the partner. Don't be afraid to lose them, because even though I said why we lied, it doesn't mean I justify. I just want to make that clear with the ladies in the room. I don't justify. You should tell the truth. You know what I'm saying? But it's not always easy to do. You know what I'm saying? We've been struggling with this since we was babies, right? We lied to our moms and dad. It don't end when we 20 or 25 or 30. So I think if you're not afraid to lose them, you'll be completely honest with them. You know what I'm saying? And you'll live your authentic self. Like, instead of putting on, you just be your authentic self. Like us. Every now and then I forget birthdays. Every now and then I buy roses. You know what I'm saying? Every now and then I might do some spontaneous stuff and really sweep you off your feet. But the next day I might be trash. So whether it's inconsistent or being very consistent, you just got to be you and not afraid to lose the other person. And I honestly think that works, man. Just don't be afraid to lose them. It'll keep you honest.
Go ahead, Tenira.
My final thought is going back to, I believe, what Haze said. Marriage is work. So if you're saying I do, know who you're saying I do with. Know how much work that person is willing to put in. If you got somebody that's always leaving or always giving up or whatever, you gotta look at that.
Somebody that shuts down.
Analyzing. Yeah, you gotta be analyzing how they deal with problems. How they, especially looking at the males, like, are you gonna jump in and be Superman when I need it? Are you gonna, and vice versa? I got your back and shit go left. But I have to know who I'm with. I can't just expect you to be Superman when you ain't been that the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
Like, all of a sudden I'm expecting impossible. So I just really want to go back to knowing who you say I do with.
Hazy baby.
Man, my biggest thing is just for anybody who thinks they want to get married or anything like this, you got to date that person, man. Like, get to know them. You know what I mean? Like, please don't be so caught up in the now and how good everything is going, because right now y'all don't both have kids and can do what you want. You know what I'm saying? Or because like y'all don't live together right now, so she come over, you come over. Like, just date, man. Like, date. It's a lot y'all gotta unpack about each other. You know what I'm saying? Like, you meet somebody I'm 37, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? And if I was to do this over again, like, especially with me being older, I'm taking my time with this thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, I got shit going on, you got shit going on. And I think the biggest misconception is thinking that marriage or somebody else is going to make you happy, because damn it, it's not. You got to come happy and whole. I got to come happy and whole. And then we going to be some happy and whole motherfuckers. But don't come to me miserable thinking I'm going to make you happy, because that is not my responsibility. Period.
Something again I got from this Better This Way podcast that TJ said, you can't be scared to walk away. And like he said,
he killed me with that one. Mm-hmm.
Back when niggas did a podcast. T said that, and it was like I just said though, sometimes you might grow out of these kids are fucking up our marriage. You might grow out of these thoughts and these feelings. But if you express that from a place of vulnerability and a place over emotional state, then you might express that the wrong way and it might fuck up your whole situation. But like T was saying, if you're scared to walk away from that situation, if you're scared to lose that situation, then you ain't gonna want to go there. You ain't gonna want to put that even out there. You're gonna want to sit on that for as long as you possibly can until it turns around. It turns into, all right, I'm cool and this is where I want to be and where I'm at with it. Now, Haze, let's jump into tell us about the podcast, where we can find you at so we can get out of here. We are way over the podcast drive-through time.
You can find me on Twitter at OLF_Haze. Same thing on Instagram at OLF_Haze. Out of Left Field is on Facebook, man. Catch me on the Out of Left Field podcast every Sunday from 12 to 2. We always put our YouTube videos out on Wednesdays. You can catch our audio on Sundays. The day it came out today, episode 217 came out. We had a special guest by the name of Donnie Carr, Philly basketball legend. So yeah, that's about it.
Time sensitive. This won't be out for a couple weeks, bro.
I'll copy that.
This episode won't be out for a few weeks.
Okay.
Jackie, the table.
Hey guys, y'all can find me, Miss Jackie. Y'all can just go to my website. I'm just Jackie.com. Y'all find everything.
Talk that shit to him, Jack. Go to my website.
Y'all will find everything. I'm just Jackie related podcast. I've been on, my YouTube, all my handles. I'm just Jackie.com. Yeah, if you want some business advice, you need some, need help with whatever, come to Jackie O Management, accounting, bookkeeping, taxes. I got you over there. You can go to JackieOManagement.com and check out my business services over there.
Tenira, you want to throw out your handle for the listeners? Get you a couple new followers and such.
On Facebook and Instagram, Tenira.Deshay. Thank you for having me. This is my first time on conversation. I guess y'all see me again.
Shout out to my man TJ. T text me his damn Wi-Fi went out on you. So shout out to T. Follow my man at Freeway TJ. We can get this Better This Way podcast back up and kicking. I appreciate it, T. Shouts out to all y'all though for coming on the episode. This was part 2 of the marital conversational situation that I've been wanting to do. That is episode 29, y'all. We are out.